It's your daily dose of Donna. Today is Monday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day. Always so grateful for people who have served for our country, always loving on anyone in the military, any veterans. So my heart goes out to all of you. Welcome to the show, all of you dosers. Thank you for being here. I apologize, I'm running a little bit late. Um, Hi, welcome. Welcome to the show. We have a big show today, lots of things going on. Um, I'm here. I'm here. Let's get into it. Thanks for joining. Here is your daily dose of Donna. Hi guys. I want to apologize before I start for I'm on about 4 hours of sleep from the entire weekend. Um, Fuck, shit. Wow, that's not a good way to start the day. I'm shaking because I'm having a little bit of anxiety today. I like to just be an open book with you guys. That's who I am. And I never feel I'm never nervous doing the show. I'm really not. I'm really not a nervous person doing the show. I always feel very confident doing the show. I didn't really want to. I'll be okay, you guys. We'll get into it. We'll have fun today. I'm just not on a lot of sleep. Emotions are high, like across the entire country right now, like in a lot of different places. And I know that like a lot of people are struggling, really. So I'm giving everyone like a little bit of grace. But like I didn't know coming into this business. I mean, I'm like I say, and I'm proud of it, that I have fun here. And I like to enjoy this. I like to do this for fun. I like to gossip. Like I really do. I like to gossip and I like to make you guys laugh. And I obviously like wasn't planning on this. I didn't even bring a tissue. But I just see all of your guys' love and I've just been hurting so much in the last 48 hours because I really never ever meant to hurt anyone with this show. That was never an intention. And clearly I have with my actions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, better. But one thing I really own is that I apologize for my actions. Always, always, if I hurt someone. I don't need to even feel like I've done wrong, but if I've hurt you, I say sorry. There's a lot of times that I say things to people and I don't get why they're hurt, but they're hurt. And I say sorry for that. If I hurt someone's feelings, I will always apologize. And that's exactly what I do. I have no freaking problem with taking accountability and apologizing for anything I do wrong or anything that hurts someone's feelings. Like, that's the first thing I do. It's always the first thing I do. And that's the best thing we can do as human beings. Like, that's what I tell my kids. It's like, you will fuck up. Like, you will go through life and you will mess up. You will mess up. Like, there's no way you won't mess up in this world, right? We will always mess up as human beings as we go through life. Like, we will say things that are a little too far. We'll cross the line. We'll make a joke that like didn't land. We'll try to be funny. We'll think we're talking to our close circle of friends who aren't, and they'll go and spread rumors and gossip. We'll think that we're trying to like make people laugh and like it won't work. Like comedians always miss the mark. I'm not a comedian. Like I thought I was being in a safe space. I was hurt by a situation publicly in a moment, and I felt like I was trying to lighten the mood because I was embarrassed. And in that moment, I really felt like I was making light. I'm the queen of props in this show. You guys watch the show. If you're a doser and you're here, I pick up anything off my desk. I mean, this is Jenna Lyon's phone, and these are Robin Brown's eyebrows, and this is Cody Brown's. Oh shit! I hope you guys didn't see my underwear. I'm not wearing underwear. I hope you didn't see my vagina. And this is Cody Brown's hair. And I picked up a sweater to use as a hood. This is just who I am, okay? It's not with bad intentions. It was trying to make light of a very uncomfortable position. It was a very uncomfortable moment because I was live and I felt uncomfortable. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, like I said, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. But it took waves. It like made waves in my life. It made waves in my life because I thought I did the right thing. I took accountability. I apologized. We squashed it. We were good. I was able to sleep afterwards because we were good. And then I even checked in the next day. Hey, I just want to let you know again. I really feel bad about that. I'm sorry. I really feel bad. Don't worry, we're good. And I didn't realize that there was like a line. I didn't realize I was being like extorted. No, we're good as long as you go on your public show and you make a meal out of this, which she got. I spent my entire weekend fighting off hundreds of women, mostly women, 99% of women calling me every name in the freaking book. From the C word to the B word to the A word to the, I got called a Zionist over this. I got called every horrible, like as if a Zionist is a bad word. Guys, I'm Jewish. I'm a Zionist. Live with it. I like Israel. Like, what are we going to do? I'm wearing it loud and proud these days. Like, is this a bad thing? That's it. But I'm not going to take this abuse anymore. This was a horrible weekend for me. I slept 4 hours between Saturday and Sunday and Friday and Saturday night over this. Sorry, Saturday and Sunday night. It took time away from my kids. It took time away from my husband. Enough. 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 I am who I am. If I mess up, I apologize. But leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like, enough. There are bigger fish to fry out there. Enough. No one's perfect. Look in the mirror. Enough. And with that, I say, are we ready to fucking laugh today? I feel better today. Now I feel better. I'm so happy I got that out because I almost want to get naked and dance. Can we have a dance party? I think it's time. I think it's time to have a damn dance party. Should I pull out a prop or will one of you guys get offended? What can I do? What can I do? Props. Blue mean. Hope I'm not offending anyone with my blue mean. How bad are you guys? I tell my kids all the time, I say, sometimes just cry that shit out. Remember when kids are younger and you're trying to sleep train them and you're just like, cry it out. I mean, seriously, that's how they teach you to sleep train. Like when your kids get to like 4 or 5 months, like you have to let them cry for a little bit longer before you go in and self-soothe or soothe them. That's like the books that we followed or whatever. Now, like my son, he's 12 years old. And when he's going through a hard time, I'm like, scream, like take a pillow and scream. My husband always goes, take a bag, punch it. But I'm like, scream. And he does. He screams into a pillow and he's like, I feel so much better. I cry. I actually do feel so much better. That was really hard. That was a really hard weekend for me. It was a really hard weekend. I'm not going to lie. I can only take so much. Okay. Glad you guys are all here. Thank you so much for bearing with me for that start. And I know I'm late today. I will, let's get into the show. Yeah. But before we get into the show, obviously, we have to talk about the best sponsor for today's show. We're back, baby. We have to talk about the best sponsor for today's show, and that is Dame. Guys, I hope you're getting ready because we know self-care isn't all about bubble baths or skincare. Sometimes it's about yelling or crying, but real self-care is about connecting with yourself in ways that's good. Guess what, guys? I wasn't able to connect with myself in ways that were good this weekend. Just TMI. Just being honest. And that's where Dame comes in. Dame is a brand on a mission to redefine sexual wellness, making products that prioritize your pleasure and comfort. Founded by women, Dame isn't just a company, it's a movement. They're here to close the pleasure gap, spark conversations, and break taboos around sexual wellness. They even took on the NYC subway system to fight for fair advertising and won. Dame's products are all about versatility and quality. Take Ava, for example, the world's first hands-free couples vibrator. I love that. Lance and I can just go hands-free. Designed to fit comfortably in place so you can stay in movement with a partner. I mean, Lance, Andrew, you guys want to hang out? Okay, Josh, this is too much. Too much. This is a family show. Or Palm, a soft, flexible vibe that moves with you, giving the kind of personalized pleasure that feels just right. Every product is made with 100% body-safe materials that comes with a 3-year warranty, so you know Dame stands by their quality. If you're ready to bring a little more pleasure into your self-care routine, check out Dame.com and use code DAILYDOSE, all caps. Or I guess you don't need to use all caps. I actually don't know. But just try Daily Dose, one word, for 30% off your first purchase. Trust me, you'll be glad you did because you deserve this. And when you guys do get your Dame products, I would like to be tagged. Okay, I want you to post it, tag it, or just send me a DM. Don't tag me in like you using it. Like I don't want to see that. I would like to see just like opening the just send me a private DM. Let's do that. Okay? Okay. All right, next. I have to say in my first title of the show, and I don't know what it's called now because I changed it, was Real Housewives of Potomac. And I removed it from the title because I realized right before the show started, I was like, I didn't watch it. Like I didn't finish it. I fell asleep during Real Housewives of Potomac last night. Like I kept dozing. I do believe from the first 30 minutes that I watched Potomac last night, I do believe it was better. I thought it was better than yesterday's show. I mean, last week's show. Like I think it's getting a little bit better. Do you guys agree with that? Those 6 of you that are watching it, I think the show is getting better. Last night, I felt like we were getting some good vibes, but I haven't finished it, so I don't want to give it a full review. Now, Monday nights are usually a little slow in the TV front, so I'll review Potomac mañana. Tomorrow, or that's tomorrow, but today we will definitely. Oh, Andrew says Potomac is so good. Are we really feeling it's so good? I mean, I have to say, yesterday I found it to be like we're lifting it up. I loved the dance party. There was like a dance party by the pool. I was thinking, okay, I'm winning a little bit. Like we're getting a little bit better. But we will talk Potomac tomorrow. So just don't be too excited about Potomac. That's not going to be until tomorrow. But we will talk Sister Wives. We will talk about a couple other things today. And the first thing I really want to talk about is Brittany Cartwright, because Brittany Cartwright is not holding back. And I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised about this one. Why? Now, as you guys know, the Valley is done shooting. Brittany Cartwright has filed for divorce. Brittany Cartwright and Jax now do not live together. I am still blocked by Jax, but Jax Taylor is doing his own thing. Britt has now announced that she's opening her new bar. Britt It's called Brits. It's in West Hollywood. This is actually a really fun little story. It's called Brits, and it's in West Hollywood. It's by the same owners of Jax's, and it's right next door to Rocco's. If you know West Hollywood at all, there's like this one stretch of Santa Monica Boulevard. The corner is Rocco's. Right next door will be Brits, or 2 doors. I can't remember if it's next door or 2 doors down. And then 2 doors down from that is Pump, or I guess Pump Tom Tom. They're doing like a little 2-in-1. And then around the corner, of course, is Sir. Across the street is High Tops. Like there's like a bunch of fun little bars in that area. It's a great location, and 100,000,000% Jax is seething because Jax's is over here in Studio City and it's struggling. Unless I am wrong, unless things have changed since I, have gone. But as you know, the few times that I have seen it and driven by it, it's just not doing what it's doing it. It's just not doing the thing that it's doing. So I will say that I think Brits is unless it's totally a fail, I think it's going to do much better than Jax's. It's the best location. You can't win. You can't lose in that location. You've got so many people just walking and, just partying. Yes, there's 2 Rocco's. Billy is asking. It's like a little bit of a chain. It's the same owners. And that's exactly, they're just it's so smart. And that's going to do so much better. Studio City Rocco's actually is always crowded, but Jax's just doesn't grab people. I just think Brits is going to have a girly feel. I just feel like it will. And it will have more of the girly vibe of next to the Rocco's Sports Bar. I just find it being so much more fun. I don't know. Now she was on, I'm going to pull this up because I was just texting with Vanderpod Recaps. And I think I want to call her out because I love her so much. Vanderpod Recaps is Lindsay. She is, I tell her every time, I'm like, I always credit her because she's a doser. She listens to the show. And she does incredible recaps of every Vanderpump Rules adjacent podcast, which used to be 2 podcasts, and now it's 46 podcasts. So this girl works hard. I think she also has her own podcast now as well. So she recapped this podcast that Brittany Cartwright was on this morning with Alex Baskin. It was really, really wild. Now, Alex Baskin is the executive producer of The Valley, also Vanderpump Rules. He also works on OC and Beverly Hills. He used to be the head of Evolution, and now he's over at 32 Flavors, which is a new production company, which will be Jeff Lewis's show. Is going to be behind that. I was shocked listening to part of the show because while the reality fans of us are dying to take Jax down, and we know Jax is he's a toolbox. Let's be honest. He's not a winner, right? We all know this. That being said, I just can't. I know they're on a reality show. I know this, but I just can't understand why she let other people talk badly about him. But her son is going to grow up and be able to listen to a podcast of Brittany Cartwright for an hour dogging her dad. Does anyone else get a little bit triggered by that? I hate using the word trigger. I don't want to talk about triggering. Triggering is a tough word for me. But does anyone else struggle a little bit with that? And thank you guys, by the way. I just see Candace became a member. Thank you so much. I didn't call out all the super chats earlier. Anne-Marie, Beth, Anne-Marie, Candace, thank you guys so much. You're so sweet. You didn't need to do that. But I was in the middle of my emotional explosion. But oh yeah, I should mention JG just said hormones were flying, crying into a dance party with Bloomy as wild. But I just want to sit with Blooming. I will tell you, and sorry guys, you may want to kind of shut your ears on this one. I'm going through a lot of hormonal changes in this moment. I'm getting off a certain birth control because I'm going into doing those pellets. Since you guys are on that road with me, all our perimenopausal ladies. So I have to really be honest with you. My hormones are crazy out of whack. I already told Lance. I gave him the heads up a couple weeks ago. I was like, I'll be crying and laughing in the same sentence. Okay. So just be ready for this. Are you ready for it? And then we started singing Taylor Swift. It was really weird. Now, Brittany Cartwright is talking so openly about her son's dad in a public forum. It seems like I want her to do it because it's Jax. But I also feel like, ooh, I don't know if we should be doing this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I want to know about you divorcees. How do we feel about this? Like, my mom spoke so badly about my dad to me when I was a kid, and my dad spoke so badly about my mom to me when I was a kid. And I wish more than anything that they never did that. But I can only imagine if they were public reality stars and they were going to the public and speaking this way. I just can't imagine. It's got to be very, very hard. Joe mentioned something really interesting, but the rest of what Jax did to Brittany is already on VPR. Exactly. So what I think is like, just let it air, let him make his own mistakes because it's all going to come out anyway. Like, Cruz is going to be able to grow up and see it for himself. I don't know if he wants to see mom do it, but anyway. Okay. So Alex says, take me back to season 1 of The Valley and where you were in your marriage. And Brittany is basically saying, like, we were good. I thought we were going to be a really strong couple, that it was going to be us against the world. I don't know what pill she was on. Just kidding. Like, what, delusion she was on that she thought she and Jax were really good a year ago, because we all knew that they were struggling years and years ago. But she thought they were really good, going to be good. She thought it was about her family and Cruz. Everything was going to be great, and everything turned really fast. Alex says, how do you think the show factored into that? And she said, it's hard to pinpoint. We had been arguing and fighting for a while. He cares a lot about what you look like on the outside. I mean, probably physically, but also he cares a lot about what, like the appearance of our happy marriage, the appearance of our happy, life. He's very much that type of person. So I think he never wanted me to talk about us fighting or anything like that. She says, and I think that it also made him mad. And I think it also made it where me and Jax were fighting even more, because he was so worried about that, what I was saying to other people, if that makes sense. Like, he was more concerned about looking like this really happy couple. And I can totally see Jax pulling that off. Can't you guys see that? Like, he really wants Jax to be this like really happy, like he wanted everyone to be like, wow, look at Jax. He got fired off of Vanderpump Rules and now he's living this like perfect happy life. And wow, it's so amazing. Brittany's why she was staying in the rental house. She said, I was living in 4 different rental houses within 7 months. Did we know that? I didn't know that. That's pretty crazy. Spent a lot of money, she said. Obviously, like, that's insane. To live in a rental house here in LA and Airbnb is wildly expensive, especially here in Studio City. I'm sure they didn't live in like a tiny little apartment off the freeway. Like, I'm sure it was a really, really nice home, or at least a nice enough home that she had like a backyard or something for the kid. And I guess they cover it on the show. Brittany says, 4th rental, insane. He wouldn't move out though. I asked, can you please move out? Me and Cruz can stay here. And he wouldn't. And Jess wasn't about that. He was like, this is my house. Sounds like a real great guy. He says, what triggered you to move out? Why did you do that? Brittany says, we were just fighting so bad. It was toxic in our house. I think having Cruz around just made me really wake up and realize, like, okay, my son does not deserve to have parents who are fighting in front of him. Bravo to her, because there's nothing worse than growing up in that kind of a household, right? I want him to grow up in a household where everyone is happy, mom is happy. I remember my parents divorced when I was really little. I don't want him to remember those things and we were fighting, whatever. And I just think that our fights got so bad, she said. I remember that our fights got so bad. She said he was doing a lot of partying, a lot of staying out. Yeah, it's when he opened Jax's. Thank you so much for buying memberships. And the next day when he was like hungover, it would be the worst fights, absolute terrible fights. So we had a couple of those within like 2 or 3 weeks. And I had already went and got a house in Malibu and just stayed for the weekend to get away. I took Cruz with me. I was like, we got to get out of this situation. Come back, it happens again. So I said, either you're leaving the house or I am. He said he wouldn't. So I packed up and went and got a rental house. Like, good for her. That's pretty amazing. Jax is awful sounding. Awful. She said when she first moved, her goal was to ultimately get back together, but she needed to see some big changes. She also wanted to see if she wanted to date other people. Um, she was like, "I'm gonna date other people. If you wanna date other people, you can, whatever." She said, "I wasn't, like, running around calling paparazzi, but, like, I just wanted to. So anytime that he found out something about me, he just wanted to one up on me and make me mad and make me upset, so just playing games with another toddler." So, so then the next question is, like, we start the valley, we can get into some of this, but it's featured on the show itself, he says. But you guys were in a different place when we started filming the valley. And again, a lot of this is going to be covered on the show. Alex says that about 475 times on this interview. And so we'll sort of get into this, but it was clear at that point you probably were headed into a different direction. You were moving on. Yeah, Brittany says, I realize he's never going to change. He's spiraling and getting worse throughout the separation. He was going to all of these appearances and all of these nights out at the bars and just doing all of these things, all the girls, the drinking, the partying. It was constant. He was not changing at all. And I was definitely in a different place. I hit my limit. Um, oh wow. Tanya says he reminds me so much of my ex. I legit have stomach pains thinking about it. I bet a bunch of you guys are feeling it right now, listening to this. Like you see your ex-boyfriends or husbands thinking about this. So he thinks things got worse because he didn't have that grounding of like having his family at home. So Brittany says, yeah, he started acting like he was a midlife crisis. And then a horrible blow up happened 2 days before we started filming. And I was done at that point. I was completely done. It was so bad. Remember when they started filming and like they went to Hawaii and Jax didn't? Like there was all this craziness. And she was thinking about moving back in. Like they were trying to get back together and then things started spiraling. She said, I shut off at that point. It was too much. He had these blow ups before I had Cruise, but I had never seen things like this. That's how things were in Big Bear, like all these blow ups on Vanderpump Rules. He always had a temper, but it was just escalating and getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. But she said, and that makes me proud of myself. I did everything I could to make this marriage work. I tried as hard as I could. I was there for him through thick and thin, stood by his side, even whenever he cheated on me. I mean, how many times did he cheat on her? Lied to me, threw me under the bus. I always tried to have his back. I was constantly having to apologize to him, constantly having to make up excuses for him. And it's kind of a relief that I don't have to do that anymore. No matter what he did, I was always connected to it because he was my husband, even though I wasn't the one that said it or the one that did it. And then Alex goes, well, at least Jax has settled into a really stabilizing living situation, living next to Tom Schwartz. Like Tom Schwartz is his is his like home base now. I mean, can you imagine? Brittany goes, it just makes me so mad. Again, I have a rental that I had to pay up front. So whenever I found out that he signed a lease behind Brittany's back, didn't talk to her about it, and he was living in the home, wouldn't let her have the house. So she's paying thousands of dollars to stay in the rentals. And then he signs a lease without her knowing and moves in next door to Tom Schwartz. She says, I was so angry, not because I didn't want him out of the house. I wanted him out of the house, but he knew I had paid up front for a rental all the way up until Halloween. She was up until just a few weeks ago, she was paying for a rental. And so she wasted 2 months of money that she could have been putting out of the house. You guys, okay, never mind. I take everything I said back. She needs to air all of this. He should get fired from his show. Like, bye. I hate Jax. Am I allowed to say that or can I get canceled for saying I don't like Jax? Sarah Hansen says, oh my God, that's so funny. She says that Tom Schwartz and Jax Taylor are the asshole version of Bert and Ernie. Never before did we think that Tom Sandoval was like kind of like skating by through this. It's crazy. Alex says, and then poor Schwartz. Brittany goes, oh, poor Schwartz. Tom is devastated. He's happy that Jax is there, I'm sure. But at the same time, he's so worried he's going to get dragged into another Sandoval situation because he's like, I didn't think he was actually going to move next door to me. But she's never seen his place. She has no interest in seeing his place. And then she says it's a very tough spot for me because I feel like he completely effed me and Cruz over with that situation because he didn't want to miss out on living next to Tom. Like he saw that there was an opening and just jumped. That's exactly what it is. But meanwhile, we have a house that is both of our homes. I'm still paying all the bills there. You guys don't understand. Like These homes have crazy mortgages. She's probably paying upwards of $5,000 a month to live in that house, if not more, maybe 7,000. I mean, I just can only imagine they bought that house for over $2 million when they bought it. I don't know exactly. And then mortgage rates and like insurance and property taxes and like all those things. She's probably paying over $5,000 a month in mortgage, plus all the utilities. And she's still paying for her Airbnb. She's probably paying over $10,000 a month in just monthly bills. Like, that's so shitty of him. And school, preschool in LA is psychotic. And the school that she goes to is so expensive. I hope he's at least helping with the kids' payments. Yeah, right, right. And then she goes, but meanwhile, we have a house that is both of our homes. I'm still paying all the bills there. I mean, you know what he did. Should I say it? I don't know. And Alex goes, we're going to hold on to that. And Brittany says, well, he did more. He did even worse things. That's the reason I'm so mad about that condo, because he screwed me over so bad. What did he do? Thank God he blocked me, because I would have blocked him. Let's all block Jax. He's horrible. Anyway, then they start talking about the bar. And then she says that when she filed for divorce, she felt relieved. She said, I wasn't even crying. Like, I felt relieved. And it's all going to be on the show when she files. He was in the rehab or whatever, the program. I don't know if she calls it rehab or not. She calls it mental health facility. But she was in the rehab. He was in the program, and she was worried that when he came out, he would pull her back in. So she filed while he was gone. And there was a lot of rage texting and everything while he was still in rehab. And Joe says, do we have to block him if we already don't follow him? Yes. Yes. Okay, that's the rule. Just kidding. You do you. You do you, Joe. He probably blocked you. You don't have to follow him. He'll probably block you no matter what, just because like you're alive. She goes, so for me, I was just noticing, like, this is going to be constant. Like, if you're in therapy 7 hours a day and you're still finding time to call me names and cuss me out and send me rage texts, you're obviously not ever going to change. Wow. This is going to be the best season of The Valley ever. Again, Alex keeps saying we cover this in the show. I mean, like, how many more times can we hear? Like, the show, it's going to be a great show. But what about the claim that you were dating Jax's friend? They go into all that. Like, I can't go into all of that. That's too much. But there's a lot of stories about, I guess the last story is, we're sitting here right now, but what was your relationship with the productions and with Bravo? Nah. Okay, that's done. So basically, she really just tears Jax to filth, which is really, really, really crazy. And I wonder what he's going to do to get her back. I feel like it's going to be bad. I feel like it's going to be intense. And I feel like she's going to hear from someone. I don't know if it's going to be an attorney. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I find, the only last thing I'm going to say about this story is that I do think, I find it interesting that Alex Baskin is the one interviewing. And I guess one thing I think is that, wait, you have to explain, Queen Hermit. You have to explain what you said, because I want to say it to everyone, but I have to like understand. You have to try to think about like the fact that Alex Baskin is their producer. He's the creator of the show with them, right? So he should be like center of all of them. He should be like an Andy Cohen to the cast. And so it's interesting to me that he's interviewing. And I guess the only good thing about that is that he's like, you can open up about anything to me because I'm the producer of the show. So like, you don't have to worry about that Bravo, worry about like what you can and can't say. The weird thing about it is like, if I was Jax, not like I want to in any way stand up for Jax, but if I was Jax, I would be like, what the F? Like, you're my producer too. And you're here like getting her side, unless all of a sudden he gets on her show and he gets, I don't know. I find it really, really interesting. I really do. Now, speaking of, okay, so anyway, that was an interesting story. I can't wait to watch the next season of The Valley. We're going to see all of this implode. It's going to be a really, really good show. Christina says, I thought I heard that Jax was forced to go to rehab to stay on the show. I think it's going to be a really interesting, I think it's gonna be an interesting take. It sounds to me like something happened real bad right before starting to film, like 2 days before starting to film, where it was Brittany's, like, straw that broke the camel's back moment, where she was like, "I gotta go. I'm out. I'm done." So maybe they did say, like, "You're going to get killed on the show if you don't show some sort of, like, wanting to change. Like, this isn't it's a no-go, or you're not safe for this production, or we don't feel comfortable having you shoot with the crew or the cast or whatever." You don't know. I could be making it all up. We have no idea. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. The Alex Baskin of it all is it's an anomaly. Anomaly. You know, he's got his hands in all of our favorite things. So it will be very, very interesting to see. Now, I know they also recorded this earlier in October because she mentioned, like, I'm opening or later. Like, I think they filmed this in September, which is another thing about this podcast, Hot Mic Podcast. It's Alex Baskin's podcast. It used to be a paid for podcast. Now it's free. They film it too early. Like, she's saying, yeah, we're starting to work on Brits on October 4th. It's November 11th. Like, so they filmed this in September. I want it, like, with reality stars, we need more current. I don't get why they film 3 months before. Okay. Let's move on. A funny story over the weekend. Did you guys like this Gina Kirschenheiter story about her dad? So Gina was she kind of made a joke of it, but Gina Kirschenheiter had a I hope I'm saying that right. It's kind of a hard last name, but from Real Housewives of OC, Gina had like a little bit of a snafu on Instagram, and it's all because, according to her, which I want to believe, but I don't know, is her dad logs into her Instagram account and helps delete comments for her that were mean so that she doesn't see them and get hurt. And after the weekend I had, I get it. And what I would do to have a loving dad that would spend his days doing that for me. Basically, what happened was, what was the account that it was on? Let me go to her account to find the original. Actually, you know what? I'll just pull it up here so we can see it together. So we get a visual. I always love a visual moment on this show, as you know. Gina. Oh, my head hurts. I'm tired. Gina. How do you say her? Well, you guys couldn't tell me how to say her last name. Okay. So Gina says, my dad forgot to switch back to his account before writing this. I love you, Dad. So basically, this is an account. It was on Bravo Daily Dish. I'm going to go back to the beginning and listen to what she says. You guys can hear it too.
I'm going to give you the real scoop on this whole thing here. Actually, in reality, that's my dad. That was my dad commenting. And my dad logs into my account when I post, and he deletes mean comments on my posts because he hates the thought of me having to come on social media and read hurtful things. And so it makes him feel better to go on there and delete awful things that are written about his child. And I love my dad for this. But in all reality, I don't actually give a fuck what any of you people say. So there you go. There's the scoop.
So in case you guys don't really understand, what happened was there was an account, Bravo Daily Dish, who posted something, and there was a comment, and it was from Gina. And it said, like, I love Gina. She's a fantastic mommy. She's a great friend and a great whatever. And it was written from Gina. So everyone was like, what the hell? And I think Bravo and Blaze is the account that kind of like pulled it and said something about it. And she commented back and said that. And I posted on my story, and Gina responded to me and reshared it to her story. But she DM'd heart back to me because that would be so amazing. I don't know. I mean, as she says, she doesn't care. It's possible that she's like so immune to it at this point after doing this for 4 years, because the amount of numbers that she gets, like the comments that she gets after having so many thousands and thousands of followers has got to be so overwhelming. And she's had like good seasons and bad seasons, so like I can only imagine. But you have to be like a really, really special kind of a ball of steel to not let mean comments ever affect you. Like I don't know at what point that happens. So like I think that's so sweet. If my son or my daughter, I don't have a daughter. If my son or my son were in the public eye and I had the ability to shield them from hate, I would do it in a heartbeat too. Like unless they specifically told me not to. So I thought that was really, really sweet. I thought that was a cute little story. It made me happy. Um, okay. Okay. Let's move on to another story. Yeah. Before we get into our fave sister wives, what do we think, you guys, about Bethenny Frankel apparently actually getting serious with her new boyfriend, it's not Bettany. It's not Bettany. No, that's an actor. Paul. Paul. If you go Google Paul Bethenny boyfriend, you get like a lot of different people. You get like a lot of she's had one thing about Bethenny is that this girl cannot be single. Maybe I'm making up the name. Is it not Paul? Tom. It's Tom. I knew it was one of them. It's either Paul or Tom. It's Peter, Paul, or Mary. You remember that song, Any Tom, Dick, or Harry? Any Tom, Harry, or Dick? 475 of you live here. Thank you so much. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? If you haven't, please hit subscribe. If you're at least hanging out here, show a little bit of free love. Please let it not be about Tom. Yes, you guys, it's about Tom. It's about that Tom. In a minute, I'm going to need a cinnamon roll. Remember that? She has told Luann, apparently. Apparently, she has told Luann. Now, I know Luann was on Watch What Happens Live last night. I haven't brought myself to watch it because remember, I fell asleep before Potomac. Was it good? Did anything crazy happen? I did see one tweet saying, like, I really hope there's a reason why Luann is acting the way she's acting on this episode of Watch What Happens Live. So, like, did something wild happen that I've missed? But yes, Bethenny is out with this guy, Tom. Apparently, she's making him public. I haven't seen anything on Instagram, but I remember seeing that they had those pictures together a few months back when she went to Giorgio Baldi in Santa Monica in all white. She flew to LA for this. She went out with him in her summer of yes. She looks phenomenal. Love or can't stand Bethenny. It's all good, but she looks great. That is one thing I can say. And he is, we know he was on Raya. I believe that they met on Raya. I know 2 women that were talking to him on Raya. A lot of DMs, a lot of angry people in my DMs last night. A lot of angry people in my DMs. Like I was messaging with Andrew last night and I was like, Andrew, like, I don't know what to do. People are incredibly heated. One DM I got last night when I just posted a story saying, I know 2 women who were messaging with Tom at the same time that he started dating Bethenny on Raya or on the dating app. The messages that I got were so unhinged. OMG, leave Bethenny alone. Isn't that what you're supposed to do on a dating app? What is wrong with you, Donna? It- Anytime. It's a lot. People are very, very up in arms about a lot of things these days. He's allowed to message everyone. It was just good gossip. I'm not judging him for it. I'm just saying things. Not everything has to be so serious. Now, Bethenny and Tom went to the Yellowstone premiere. Do you guys watch Yellowstone? I fell off about season 2. Season 2, season 3, I was like, it was very like Real Houses of Potomac. It put me to sleep, you know? No, it was like Real Houses of New York. Calma. But it was Bethenny. They went to the Yellowstone premiere over the weekend. They look cute together. They match. They were all in white together when they were at Giorgio Baldi a few months ago. Now they were at the Yellowstone premiere and they're in all black. Very interesting choice of pictures because they're in a picture with let me send this article to myself and I can pull it up for you guys because they're in a picture with oh my God, I almost sent the text to my 9-year-old son. He would have been like, "Why are you sending me this picture?" They're in a picture with Jay Cutler and Jay Cutler's girlfriend, which is kind of an odd choice given like all the PR nightmare that he's had this month. You know, Jay Cutler, Kristen Cavallari's ex-husband, who just got the DUI. Okay, let me show you the pictures of Bethenny and her man. I mean, look, she looks great. Come on, if you compare Bethenny, she looks a little filled maybe in this moment, but she looks great. Compare her to how she looked on the Roni days, like especially in those early months of early seasons. It's night and day. She's really aged well. But this is the picture that I was talking about. I can't make it bigger. But there you go. That's Jay Cutler. That's his girl. I can't remember her name. And that's Bethenny, and that is Tom Vellante. And the girlfriend is Samantha Robertson. And they're very cute. They look good. They're matching. And this isn't the first time they've been seen together, but it looks like they've been together for a few months now. I'm happy for them. But I don't know. I mean, he's here. She's there. Maybe that's perfect for her. She has obviously Bryn to take care of and she's doing her own thing. He seems like a businessman. He's got a busy life. Maybe that's perfect. It's kind of like an in and out thing, like a West Coast, East Coast. I have a weird feeling about Bethenny that when Bryn graduates high school and leaves and goes off to college, she's going to move to the West Coast. Does anyone get that vibe about Bethenny? I feel like she's going to end up on a beach in either like a Malibu or maybe Montecito. Like I feel like that's where she's going to end up, you know? Okay. All right. Yeah. Queen says, I want to know, how did Bethenny change her jaw? I am dying to know how Bethenny, I've seen a lot of TikToks about this. I would love to see what she did with her face. I want to know front to back. Did I tell you guys this? Maybe I said it only on Patreon. When I went to TwatsCon, I had a long conversation with Dolores over her face. I didn't say, tell me about your face. I was like, you look phenomenal. And she's like, have I got a guy for you? And she gave me his name. She told me his Instagram. She says he works wonders. She says, if you ever need any work done, you got to fly on over to the East Coast. You got to come over to Jersey. He's amazing. He's wonderful. Da, 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 da. Now I know where to go. Now I know where to go if I ever want to get anything done. I also okay, I'm not going to continue on that conversation. Let's move on. So another thing I could talk about really fast, which I find an interesting little side note conversation before we get into Sister Wives, is, our favorite conversation. We always want to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but this little nugget, and it's about our favorite star of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You think we're talking about Mary? Oh, no. We're talking about Donny Osmond's nephew. The big star of Salt Lake City, Jared Osmond. Yep, Donny Osmond's nephew, Jared, slams Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for giving him a bad edit. Oh, he's a season oneer. He's a season oneer because, the season one people, they always say, season one, they always say, it's the edit. It's the edit. And it's not the edit. It's you. You know how they say, it's not you, it's me. It's not the edit, it's you. Donny Osmond's nephew, Jared, has slammed the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for turning him into a villain and spinning his relationship with Brittany. newbie Brittany. He spoke exclusively with Daily Mail following his appearance on the Bravo show, which has led him to receiving nasty messages from fans. I am being absolutely hammered right now. That's what Andrew said. I wake up to about, oh my God, wait. I never knew that Jared and I were going to be in the same boat this weekend. Jared and I are the same. I'm being absolutely hammered right now, he says. I wake up to about 200 DMs just filled with hate. That was me all weekend. I love you, Jared. I'm here for you. Now, that's kind of silly. Why are we DMing Jared Osmond with hate? That seems nutty. Like, everyone calm down. He does not deserve so much hate. What did he do so bad to you? Like, everyone needs to chill out on the hate DMs. Who sent so much hate? He goes, I take it with a grain of salt. Well, do you? Because you're speaking to Daily Mail about it. And I try to answer some of them, even the worst ones. I always point out to these full-grown adults that are coming at me that you've taken one episode, for example, the dinner I had with Brittany. They edited a 2-hour dinner into 3 minutes, and it looks like I'm cutting her off and putting a pin in her opinion. And that's not how it went. During the October 16th episode, viewers watched as Osmond met up with Brittany for dinner. Brittany called him manipulative. After filming the meetup with his ex, Osmond told Daily Mail that he was done filming. However, a producer had tried to get him to attend. Guys, here we go. Remember how on that show, Justin, the whole story was that Justin, with the Justin Teeth, Whitney Rose's husband, Justin Teeth, how Justin invited Jared to the party and it felt like a little produced. Well, listen, the main producer called Jared and said, you have to come to the anniversary party because Brittany's there with a new man. The main producer, the producer didn't tell him that she was going to be there with another man. The main producer called me and she goes, Jared, you need to be here. He goes, I am in bed. It's 10 o'clock at night. I say, no way. I am so done after what you guys did to me at the dinner. I'm not doing this. That's confusing. After what you guys did to me at the dinner? What did they do to him at the dinner? There's no way he saw a final cut at that point. What did they do? They just filmed them at dinner. So this is a little confusing. Moments later, he had a change of heart. Okay, I don't know about this Jared guy. It's feeling a little fishy. Moments later, he had a change of heart and called the producer back after she made the point that none of the girls had met him. It also helped that Whitney Rose's husband, Justin, had texted him, just like viewers saw. Well, the producers told Justin to text him, right? The Osmond family members told Daily Mail that he was not bothered by Bateman's new date and, in fact, enjoyed connecting with the other cast. Watching the episodes back, Osmond said he's definitely gotten thrown under the bus. He says, I don't think Brittany understood the damage she was doing when she talked poorly. It's affected my children. She promised me she wouldn't disparage me on national TV. I humbly admit, because I'm not a narcissist. When you have to say I'm not a narcissist, does that make you a narcissist? I'm just wondering. Because I'm not a narcissist, that I've made mistakes and I have to own those things. I never cheated on Brittany, but I had one foot out the door at times because I was nervous. And one of the things I hate about the show the most, quite honestly, is I think it changed Brittany. She's a lot stronger, but she also had all these people in her ear. Anyway, he talked about how everyone has an opinion. He gets a lot of DMs. And he said, my Aunt Marie, you guys, that's Marie Osmond, called me one night and she said, can I do it in a song? Because I don't believe Marie Osmond just calls, right? She probably called and she's like, are you doing okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then she said, well, that's all she said. That was like the entirety of the conversation. Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, cool. Shall we move on to Sister Wives and really have fun? Before that, I would like to bring up another sponsor of our show. This show is sponsored by, and dare I say, the most important sponsor of the week after the weekend that we had and after the week that we all had as a country. And this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's take a moment to thank someone special in our lives. I'd like to give a shout out to, today I'd like to give out a shout out to my YouTube moderators who literally saved me today. Ray, Josh, and Wanda. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I can't even explain to you how much I appreciate you, especially today, because I feel like I have a little bit of security here on a very, very scary, scary YouTube live. So thank you, and I love you. Thank you for being there. And as you know, this month, Thanksgiving month, is all about gratitude. Along with the people who support us, there's one we don't always like to thank, and that is ourselves. Life is intense, and just getting through the day sometimes feels a big accomplishment. So here's a reminder to appreciate yourself for handling all that life throws your way. And if you're looking for some extra support, therapy can be such a powerful tool. It's not just for overcoming trauma, it can help you build positive coping skills, set boundaries, and empower you to be your best self. If you're considering starting therapy, BetterHelp is an option worth trying. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient and flexible to fit your schedule. Just fill out a quick questionnaire, and BetterHelp will match you with a licensed therapist. You can switch at any time with no extra cost. So let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Donna. That's DANA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Donna, DANA. You deserve the support. Okay. Are we ready to shovel some snow? I'm getting my props out. Are you ready for it? Are you ready to get offended? I'm ready for Sister Wives. On today's episode of Sister Wives, Cody has to shovel 8 pounds, 8 feet of snow off his truck. Mary has no idea what the hell is going on with the finances of her life and Coyote Pass. Janelle is living very happily in her own bubble, and Christine is acting like a 12-year-old. On this week's episode of Sister Wives, Cody, Robin, Janelle, Mary, Christine, and new lollipop, David, all gather together at Gwendolyn and her fiance's bridal shower, getting tattoos. You heard me right. This is your Sister Wives recap. Guys, this was an episode to remember. It's an unbelievable show. It's a cinematic masterpiece, this shit. The first part of the episode is a connection of two people that we never saw together. It's Mary and Janelle. Mary and Janelle are wife number 1 and wife number 3, right? Janelle's 3. 2. Guys, is Janelle 2 or 3? I can't remember. I want to say 3. 2. Okay. Janelle is on top of her game when it comes to the business of Coyote Pass. Janelle is 2. Thank you. Janelle is on her shit. Okay. She's the bookkeeper of the Browns. Christine was like the homemaker of the Browns. She always made sure everyone had food. She always made sure there was games. I don't know what the fuck Mary was doing the entire time. Sorry to curse. I have no idea what the hell Mary was doing for this family except wet barring it up. Mary was in her corner, spraying her hair, painting on her eyeliner, and making Rice Krispie turkeys. What did Mary bring to this family? Serious question. Oh, she was yelling at the kids, Tiffany says. It's very, very possible that Mary didn't bring a lot of... I don't understand the contribution. When it comes to Sister Wives, everyone has to have a contribution, okay? One person may be really good at like cleaning and like laundry. One person may be really good at like cooking and making sure the food is ready for everyone and making sure the home is always stocked. One person may be really good at like bathing and like, putting the kids to bed. What is Mary doing? She's like twiddling her fingers. Okay. Janelle comes over to Mary's house because I believe Janelle went straight from that attic meeting of last week. Remember the one where Cody was having a anxiety panic attack? You couldn't breathe up in that attic. She's wearing the same outfit. I believe the cameras went straight from that meeting over to Mary's house. She goes into Mary's house. Now, Janelle and Mary never got along. Fun fact, they never liked each other. Wife one and wife two did not have a good relationship. Probably because Janelle was like, what the hell? What does she do here? What is she getting? What is she doing to do here? So Murray, she's sitting there and Janelle walks in. Now the confessional has Janelle throwing Mary right under the bus. Mary says, okay. Mary says, listen. Janelle says, Mary, she's like a dog. She's like a very loyal dog who always comes back. I mean, I'm not calling her a dog, but she's like a dog. The way these editors, they give us such good stuff. They know. They're like, oh, those podcasters are going to love this moment. Then Janelle finally sits down with Mary and she says, Mary, I'm leaving. Like, I feel at peace. I feel good. I'm happy about this. Like, I want to go. And Mary says, oh, okay. And Janelle goes, what about you? How do you feel? And Mary goes, oh, well, I'm all right. I'm okay. Let's be real. I'm all right. I mean, Mary, you weren't happy with him. You're not happy without him. The only time Mary is happy is when she's hanging out with Jen, her friend. Like, that's what Mary's happy when she's hanging out with Jen and her gay bestie. Like, that's a happy Mary. Mary doesn't want anything to do with this. They start talking about Coyote Pass, and Janelle is concerned about Mary's finances. She's like, listen, we can lose Coyote Pass. She says, Cody does not have the money. And the crowd goes silent. What? Cody? Cody doesn't have the money? I am shocked. I am shocked over this news. Mary thinks Janelle was in charge of the money this whole time. Wait, Janelle, you don't have the money? I'm so confused. Janelle goes, no, I'm only the bookkeeper. Trust me. If I had control over where this money was going, we would have a lot more money. But Mary, I think you need to protect yourself. She says Mary's name is not even on 1/4 of the property. Mary at this point is walking away from Coyote Pass with not even a coyote. She's not even getting a pass. She's getting one turd from one dead coyote. Mary's walking away from with a fossilized turd from a coyote in 1986. That's what she's walking away from Coyote Pass. That's it. Just that. That's it. Mary looks at Janelle like, huh? What? Is this about LuLaRoe? I only get, is this an MLM? Do you want me to join your team? Is this what this is about? Okay, I'll be in your downline. You want me to be in your downline? Fine. Okay. Christine, we cut to Christine, and Christine and David are looking for a house. What year is this? No one knows. Have they gotten married? Nope. They're not even engaged. Yes, I know we've seen their wedding. They're not even engaged, but they're looking for a house. And this is the moment where I want to off myself because Christine is literally the most insufferable person on the show. I never thought we'd get here. I like Robin and Cody more than Christine on these episodes. I can't. I've taken it. I've lost it. Christine is a giddy schoolgirl who literally just got her period. Christine is me when I was in love with Justin Timberlake in 8th grade. Like, stop. Just stop. Stop it. Doesn't it feel wild? It feels wild to watch Christine like, David and I, we're going to go look at a house. She's so annoying. They're looking at a bathroom that has 2 sinks. I need to stop you right here. For those of you that are married, Oh, MJ says, wasn't it crazy? Yeah, this is a good point. Going back a second, wasn't it crazy that Mary still trusts Cody? Mary is in a cult. Mary still trusts Cody Brown at this point. Cody Brown has basically like taken like roach killer to Mary's face. Like, go away. Shh. Shh. Never come back here. And Mary's like, I trust him. He seems like a good guy. Cody's like, I set fire to your home. Plague, plagues, plague. And Mary's like, I like him. I like him. He's a good one. Let's go back to Christine and the sinks. Okay. I have 2 sinks in my master bathroom. I have a small master bathroom, but I have 2 sinks. If Lance dared, just randomly woke up one day and went over to my sink, like, I'm just going to brush my teeth in Donna's sink. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what are you doing on my sink? Move on over, my friend. This is my sink. We don't share sinks. Who the hell wakes up one day and just decides to go to another sink when you have 2 sinks in a bathroom? If you have 1 sink, you share a sink. If you have 2 sinks, it's designated sinks. That's like not knowing where you're going to sleep every night. Like, that would be so weird. Can you imagine one night I just like randomly sleep on Lance's side and I'm just like, I felt like sleeping on this side today. That's an NO. Like, we have I have a hook that's just mine for my towel. I have a sink that's just mine. I have a drawer that's just mine. I have a side of my closet that's just mine. Like, we don't switch that shit up, right? Like, that's kind of like a known situation. Even my boys, like Dylan has a sink and Oliver has a sink in their shared bathroom. It's like no one messes with that. Like, Dylan doesn't want to like brush his teeth when like Oliver's like leftover toothpaste is in there. Like, it starts young. Okay. Okay. So then oh, my note for this is I'm bored out of my mind. Please help. I fast forwarded through the rest of the open houses. At this point, they could have gotten married. I didn't see it. Christine and Janelle then decide to all get together. They're all going to meet each other. David's going to meet all the kids. They all get together. They talked about Gwendolyn coming out with her girlfriend and they're having a bridal shower. That's why they're all there. Gwendolyn is Janelle's daughter. No. Gwendolyn is Janelle's daughter, right? Am I crazy? Now I can't remember anything. Remember, I'm sleepy. Gwendolyn is Christine's daughter. Gwendolyn's Christine's daughter. And thank you. I can't remember. Sometimes I get a little bit like lost about like all the different kids. Gwendolyn is Christine's daughter. They talk about her coming out. Cody's like, I was okay with her coming out. Like, I was okay with it. She wasn't as clear as some of the other kids. She said, I like both sexes. Basically, he was saying like she wasn't as clear as Mary's kid. You know, like no one mentions Leon. No one mentions Leon. It's crazy, right? No one mentions Leon. Leon is Mary's child. Okay. Gwendolyn is having this engagement party. Oh, yeah. So like when everyone's meeting, it's always like very tight quarters. Like I always think about with the camera people, like it's probably very sweaty and hot in those kitchens. The engagement party. This is when things get crazy because Cody and Robin get invited. And Cody says, we had no idea, but we found out the morning of that Christine's boyfriend was going to be there. And then you go to Robin in a confessional, the first time we see her this episode, and Robin goes, we're going. As if they're walking into a fire. We are going. We're doing it. So the party's going, and they're saying like it's not awkward at all until Cody and Robin come in. Trust me, this party's awkward. It's like an awkward get together. It's in a living room. There's just like a random set of chairs around the corners. Like no one wants to be at this party. I don't want to be at this party. The babies don't want to be at this party. Like All the dogs have left the coop. Like, no one wants to be at this party. Mary walks in first because she's like, I'm not coming in behind Cody. I'm done with that man. 2 seconds ago, she's like, I like him. I'm done with him. I'm not coming in. I'm not flouncing in behind. She walks in. Cody and Robin walk in, and Robin walks in. Hi. Takes her glasses off. Hi. Cody, I got my present. I mean, these two. I felt so awkward. I felt like secondhand embarrassment. Like if I was there, I would run to the other room. I'd be like, they don't even drink at these events, do they? Like, no one's like getting liquid courage in the other room. Is anyone taking shots in another room? I want to know. So then it's so uncomfortable. All of a sudden they're having tattoos. Now, this is something I can't get behind. Not getting tattoos. We saw that in the Valley. On the Valley, everyone's always having tattoos, but those are like nice big homes. There's extra spaces. There's like a room just for the tattoos. They're young. They're in their 20s, 30s. They live in LA. There's a lot of alcohol going on. What is happening? They have like a tattoo chair in the corner of a tight, swamped, crowded living room with a bunch of former polygamists, people on Sister Wives for TLC getting tattoos. Like, nothing is tracking for me. Nothing is connecting. You see like 3 of Gwendolyn and her fiance Bia's friends, but the rest are all just like Christine, Mary Brown. Like, why are there tattoos here? It's so uncomfortable. It's so weird. Nothing made sense here, you guys. Nothing made sense. But they're all getting tattoos, and we found the thing that got Cody. He's like, whoa, tattoo phobia. Arr, can't do tattoos. Arr. Mary goes and meets David. And this was a moment that I actually thought was sweet. She was like kind with them. Christine was kind. Christine and Mary hug. They actually had a decent relationship when they were all together. And there was actually a moment where they actually hugged, and like, am I just really emotional? Because I got a little bit verklempt. Like, my eyes got a little watery. I was like, Christine is like, Mary, are you okay? But Christine the whole time is like, everyone, I'm happy. I'm so happy. Do you guys see how happy am I? I'm so happy. She's so over the top. It was crazy. Then the 4 of them meet. And this is the moment that I almost got under my table. Cody is holding one of the babies. Robin's holding one of the babies. McKelty is awkwardly standing right there too. Christine and David finally walk 1 foot over to them because that's the space in this room. It's just chairs around. Walk 1 space over to them. And she goes, Cody, David, Cody, Robin, David, Robin. Cody goes, hi, nice to meet ya. Pretty snowy out here, huh? And Robin goes, hello. But right before they walk over, right before Christine walks over with David, Robin goes, Cody, you have something in your teeth. And I rewound it 6 times. Cody, you have something in your teeth. And he was like, the thing, I mean, what I saw was wild. She's like, oh, shoot, a pig's in a blanket. So then they bring thank God for these babies, because they're like swaying because they're so uncomfortable. You know that sway? They're swaying like this. And McKelty is so uncomfortable, you guys. McKelty does nothing to make the whole situation better. She's like, she should, if I was there, I'd be like, okay, this is a little awkward, but I'm so glad we all get to be together, like whatever. But she's like, so David has babysat my kids before, because Cody is like, have you met the babies? And McKelty's like, he babysat when I went for a pedicure. So not only is Cody finding out that the new boyfriend has met the babies, but he's babysat these babies alone. And then he goes, how long have you guys been together? Guys, remember, Christine is licking David's lips, face, chin, bald head, all of it. Christine is basically having sex in public with David at this point. They're looking for houses. She has said he is the love of her life. She's already tattooed his initials like near her vagina. Like, she is obsessed with this man. She goes, a month and a half. But we've known each other a lot longer than that. They met that day. It's wild. They have the most uncomfortable foursome conversation. My notes about that last scene, they all meet. You have something in your teeth. The baby's awkward. And that, my friends, was your episode of Sister Wives. It was the light we needed at the end of this dark tunnel of a weekend. I love you guys. I see you in the comments. You want a doser con. Everyone in the comments are talking about wanting a doser con. And I want to do it too. Yep. And I want Dame to sponsor the event. I swear, I really, really want 2025. I would love to have an event, a live event. I see you guys. So many of you guys want to do this. I'm down. I'm down. The problem is, I am a horrible planner. I hire people to plan events for me. So, yes, it will be, Joe. We will absolutely do this if I can get a coalition of people who can get together and help me plan this ish. Welcome, Tiffany. She says, this is my first live and it's a blast. And I cried on this one. I don't normally cry. I don't normally cry. Patricia goes, yay, sex toys for everyone. Everyone. I'll do it. Alicia says, I work in events. I'll do it. Well, get on the Facebook group and let's start a thread. Talk to Ray. We need to talk about everyone. Okay. Hopefully I will definitely sleep tonight. Honestly, oh my gosh. Kate says, just know your community supports you. I'm so glad that I did this because I really was scared. Like I truly was anxious coming in, not because I just need to feel like everything's fine. I know when, there's going to be bumps in the road, but I do feel better. I feel so much better. So much better. And I'm really, really glad that you guys are all there to support the show. If you have not, this is what I'm going to ask of all of you. Okay. I know that not everyone here is a fan of mine, but if you are a fan of mine and you have not yet done this, please, please, please do this. Please, obviously subscribe here, but this is really important. If you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star rating and write a review. So it's really easy to do. You just scroll down to the bottom of my show. You can click 5 stars and then just say write a review. And it can just be one sentence. But that's really important because there is like a crowd of people that love to do the opposite when these things happen. So just let's negate that negativity. And thank you so much. And yes, nap time. Maybe I'll take a nap, just like Frankie over there. Frankie's sleeping on my couch. Frankie's my dog. Okay. No worries. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And I will talk to you mañana.